Hi, I'm Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing the second half of my January wrap-up. These are the 5 books that I read in the second half of January, and the first one is Maynard's House by Herman Rauscher, and this I read for the Midnight Book Society book club hosted by Simon Slashers, and this is a paperback from hell older horror novel that takes place during the Vietnam War. It starts in the Vietnam War where Maynard is killed in action, and he leaves his house to his friend that he fought in the war with. And when he goes home, he ends up going to Maynard's house and staying there, and some really weird things start to happen. This book had really good character development for our main character, and it was kind of funny. It had a wittiness to it because of the main character's sense of humor and just being totally exasperated by everyone in this area that he's moved to. I think it was in Maine. Yeah. And it goes to some strange places. I'm not sure that I really understood everything that happened in the last half, but I think there was a witch. Oh, but there was a little bit of a love story between our main character and this young Native American girl in a tribe that's around there, and it was kind of icky because when he first saw her and her brother, he said they were just a couple of kids, and then he keeps talking about them as being super young and like kids, and I mean, that's a little icky. Anyway, I really, really, really liked the first half of Maynard's House, and then it kind of fell off from there. I gave it 3.5 stars because of how much I liked most of the story. Then I read My Darling Girl by Jennifer McMahon, and that was the book club pick for the Creatures Everywhere book club, which is hosted by Latasha and Tyler J. on Goodreads. And I really like this story. This is Jennifer McMahon's take on a possession story, and it has to do a lot with child abuse, and having to care for a mother who's really sick, who was not the best mom. But then, remembering really good times, but then there were such bad times. And then there is some really creepy things going on with the mom. Like she might be possessed. I thought it was so entertaining. So entertaining. And I gave that one 4 stars. This is a book that I read. This was mood reading. I really just felt like reading this nonfiction book. This is Outlive, The Science and Art of Longevity by Peter Attia, MD, with Bill Gifford. Say it right. With Bill Gifford. And Peter Attia works in longevity. Like his whole career is set around helping people live better for longer. And this book is everything you need to know about not getting sick as soon and living longer. I think it was like the goal is to not get sick until 20 years after you would and not die until 10 years after you would. So you have that time, more time for better quality of life. There was a lot of obvious advice that you probably would know, like exercising is good, eating better is good, getting enough sleep is good, that kind of thing. But this goes into the specifics of why there is a lot of medical details, science in here. And I find health as a topic super, super interesting. And I loved every minute of reading this. And there were some little facts and studies I had no idea about, and they really surprised me. Especially in the section about preventing Alzheimer's and cognitive health, cognitive issues. Yeah, some surprising things in there. So if you don't like sciencey details, I would not recommend this one. There's a lot of medical science in here. But if you find health as a topic as interesting as me, you might really like this one. Next, I finished Married by Nat Cassidy, and I read this for the Death by TBR book club, which was just started in January by Kelly Hooked on Books and Fiber Artsy. And this book is amazing. It is super, super creepy. It's about a woman who is she's just started going into perimenopause, and she starts seeing some really weird things. Like when she looks in the mirror, her face starts to decompose before her eyes. And if she looks at it long enough, she passes out. And every woman of a certain age, same thing. And there is some disgusting details describing this effect, as well as some other gruesome things that happen in here. And the horror was definitely on point in here. There's a lot of discussions on women and menopause and aging. She's moved in with her aunt to take care of her, who's sickly, and there's weird stuff going on with her. There's weird stuff going on in this town, and it's very mysterious and strange. And I just loved every minute of it. These physical books were both 5-star reads for me. Then my last read of the month was Exodus of Evil by James Flynn. This is a very short novella, and it's the start of a trilogy, science fiction horror. It is definitely a science fiction story, a story of a generation ship which was built to save humanity and the animals of Earth because our world is too polluted and overcrowded, and it's headed in a bad direction. So this ship goes off with humans and animals, and the ship is set up like a natural environment. And they're living in villages, and everything is really gone back to basics. Except for there is really awful leadership. There's a sadistic maniac in charge, and corporal punishment is extreme. Fair warning, there are some scenes in here that were too much for me, and I read horror all the time, so yeah, if you have anything you don't want to read, I mean, if you need to know specifics, ask me. I'll let you know what the trigger warnings are. But yeah. But I really liked the story overall, beyond those couple of things that were beyond what I like to read. How this kind of utopia could be ruined by just how nasty people can be, right? Definitely a bleak one, but I I liked it, and I don't know where the story is going to go from there here, but I do have questions that I'm hoping will be answered in the rest of the trilogy. I ended up giving Exodus of Evil 3.5 stars. It would have been higher if it wasn't for those scenes, right? Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them, and I'll be back very soon with another book related video. Thanks. Bye.